so long getting back to my. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. I don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rains, no sleep. Every day I work my thumb. I don't get to take off. A hater get up. I'm ready like lift off. I never been nowhere, but I'm ready to stay gone. Nothing ever lasts long. I'm always beating the odds. Taking all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live. I don't know what the mad for. I just had to do it. Got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib and getting money. You gotta ask for it. I'm tired of complaining. I gotta change my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it. Ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
S-T-R-O. Yeah.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support, bruh. Lifting up. Never not on my grind. New York City time. Another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winter side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the wind. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way when my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze. Freeze. Stop you in your tracks. It's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way when my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
my team pulling. You look.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Let's go. 10 logo. Watch QB draw. 61, matchbox lights. Let's go.
Throwing on first down. Lawrence. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The end result, 21 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they've got the second straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
To throw on second down, Lawrence. And his throw is incomplete. The intended receiver there was Jonnu Smith. And now it's 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
The Steelers send out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team that wins.
Don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to
On first down, Benjamin. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. The starters now on offense, and Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries, but boy, as he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll try the left side. Benjamin. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That one a first down pickup of 8.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Let's go, D.
They'll run on first down. Benjamin. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields got his man complete over the middle. That's Lamb. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Off the play fake. Fields. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Lamb. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun, Fields. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And they come into top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
To throw on 3rd down, Fields. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It'll be just an 18-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. Well, September sure treated him kindly. Now we flip over to October. Any reason to think that those numbers drop, or can he keep the pace up?
Well, he can keep the pace up, but it's going to get a lot more difficult now. To me, it's a lot like baseball, all right? When guys, when they first hit the league, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter, and they go through the league the first time and they're hot, people are going, wow, what a phenom. Then they get tape on them, they get scouting reports, they start to do different things. Let's see if he's going to adapt and expand his game in order to keep up that type of production.
That's a good call because he's a known entity. See how they defend him going forward. They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Off play action. Lawrence. He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. The numbers there in last week's game for Smith. 5 catches, 57 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Lawrence looking middle, and it's incomplete. Jonnu Smith, the tight end, is intended receiver, but it's going to be second down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. From the gun, Lawrence. And this one complete to Smith. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. They were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
First down, Benjamin. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
At first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day.
Ready? On first down, Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Going up top. And that's caught inside the 30. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. 76 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Extra point put through by Boswell. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Off the play fake. Fields. Forced out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Eddie Jackson picks it. And shutting him off. Now open field. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Let's get off the field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Second and goal from the 6 this time. Second and 6. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Boswell for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll buy some time. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question, because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates are going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. On first and 10, Lawrence. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. This quarterback now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it first and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2.
Check. X3. 218. Chopper. 5.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off.
Got it.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Get it. Go.
Throwing on first down. Lawrence. It's caught. Smith. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. Complete. Smith has it. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Jonnu Smith, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Extra point now by Boswell. And it is now 21-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
To throw on second down. Fields. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. On 3rd and 2. Fields. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but... And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. The carry here for the big tight end. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Fields. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Again, the offense will stay out there. They've converted once on this drive. What can they do here on 4th down? They're going to try and throw. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. first down. Fields. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Kenny Vaccaro. So his struggle is just continuing here in the first half, throwing the football. Charles, now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Ready.
Throwing to start the drive. Lawrence. Open man. Completes it to Smith-Schuster. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And a quick throw here, that's complete. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Back to throw. Lawrence. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, is it bringing your...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Looking to throw. Fields going deep for Diggs. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. We've seen this offense do some unconventional things thus far, but they couldn't go for it on 4th down here, could they?
Could someone patch us into the head coach's headset? Punt the ball.
That's taken on the 25.
Here we go. Here we go.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's enjoying a great deal of success. His team is also enjoying a great deal of success.
Yeah, he's got that nice little, what I call the QB lean going right now. You see that little stroll that he's got
swagger
going? Yeah, he's definitely got that. You see him throwing the football. There's a nice little video. He's seeing that in his head as well because he wants more of that to happen. So anytime you see him that relaxed, that comfortable, usually it's a big thumbs up for his team.
Yeah, it's been a big highlight day for him.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
2nd and 4. He's got Smith here.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. The guy you can spot pretty easily, put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Ready to break. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Watch the run. They go. Check.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a...
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And that first half was nothing short of a disaster. 0 points on the scoreboard and a big 3 in the INT column.
So they've got to get him going, obviously, right? So you've got to get him in rhythm. And we always think of short passes. I think of jet sweeps where they just kind of toss the ball forward. You know, that counts as a forward pass. And then you can say to him, look at that. You completed 3, 4, 5 in a row. Now you got to get your confidence going.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
He's crashing. He's
2nd and 11. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. And he'll take it just outside the 40. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak. On top so far with the football here, 1st and 10.
60 Pittsburgh. 54. Got you, boy. Now.
On 1st and 10, Lawrence. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Ready? 18 Gator. Check 55 to Mike. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Fire.
Throwing on first down. Lawrence. Pass incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Lawrence. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. Back to throw. Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
My good friend, I'm just going to pose the question to you. Did that look like a pass that he should have thrown?
Now, the rookie probably needs to be a little bit more careful in these situations.
Yeah, that throw would turn him into a veteran quicker, but not in the way that he wants. He wants to learn his lessons by making good throws, not throws like that.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And I guess right now as we look at some of his struggles today, the term next play really applies here. He's got to move on.
I love where your head is on that because that's where his head needs to be.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
All day, just like that, just like that.
They'll keep it on the ground. Benjamin. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Fields. And he's able to find Diggs. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
This quarterback now just 6 of 16 through the air, but he does have a 1st and 10 here. Looking to throw. Fields. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Open man here is Conklin. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
Back to throw. Fields eluding the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Rocky Sin, a rookie 2nd-rounder from Temple, there to make the play.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Rocky Sin. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see